You cry because it's easy, because it's automatic, because that's how you've always reacted every time something didn't go as planned. No one ever taught you what to do after the pain arrives. They taught you how to feel, but not how to resist. And so, you cry, not out of strength, but because you don't know what else to do. But here's the truth. Crying doesn't mean anything. It's just your body trying to digest what your mind can't process. A biological reaction that you romanticized because someone told you that showing weakness is somehow beautiful. But it's not. It's just fragile. It's just you still hoping that someone will see your collapse and help you get back up. But no one will, because no one's watching that closely. Everyone's too busy picking up their own pieces. You cry in the middle of the street because the world feels heavy, because you feel small, irrelevant, crushed, but the world isn't heavy. You are just not strong enough, because those who are don't even feel the weight. They carry it quietly, without complaint, without show. And still, you convince yourself that your pain is unique, that no one else could understand it. Maybe that's even true, but it doesn't earn you anything. It just makes you more alone. You say you cry because you feel too much, because you're sensitive, because the world is cruel. But now, sensitivity has become an excuse for emotional weakness. There's no glory in being a minefield of emotions if all you do is explode and shut down. You break for anything, then expect respect for being real. But here's the harsh part. No one cares. No one has time to manage your constant collapse. You cry because you were rejected, because you failed, because no one saw you the way you wanted to be seen, and now you blame the world. But the problem isn't the world. It's you. You think you deserve something just for being here. That your pain should somehow shift the universe, that to live is to be understood. But it's not. Living is surviving, and even that is hard as hell. You still believe there's some reward waiting at the end, that someone will notice your effort, your pain, your struggle, and applaud you. But they won't. Life doesn't hand out certificates for suffering. It doesn't give medals for endurance. It just moves on, and if you don't move with it, you get left behind. Crying isn't strength. It isn't resilience. It's not passion. It's just a pause. A meaningless pause. A ritual you repeat to convince yourself you're processing something, when really you're just drowning deeper inside your own mind. Because after the crying, what's left? More frustration, more helplessness, more waiting for a savior that's not coming. So here's what you need to understand. No one is coming to save you. No one's gonna fix your life because you showed them your broken parts. This isn't a movie. This is real life. And in real life, crying is a luxury, one that only those who've already surrendered can afford. You can keep admiring your own scars. You can turn your pain into a flag, a speech, a brand, but you'll stay irrelevant until you learn to rebuild in silence. Until you turn what you feel into action, until you accept that life owes you nothing just because you suffered. And no, this isn't coldness, it's clarity. It's realizing the world doesn't care, that pain is common, that your suffering doesn't make you special, that your tear is just another drop in the ocean. And if you don't learn to swim with all that water rising inside you, no one is going to reach in and pull you out. crying might bring relief, but it never solves anything. It never has. And if you still haven't realized that, maybe the problem isn't the world. Maybe the problem is your refusal to stop being broken. Your refusal to rise, still pretending your collapse is depth, when it's just cowardice, wearing a mask called sensitivity.
You grew up thinking you were different, and that was your first mistake. Someone told you you were unique, that you had a spark, that the world needed you. But no one warned you that it was just a polite way of saying, good luck, you're on your own. You were fed promises of being the main character, then thrown into a system where almost everyone's just background noise. And now you can't cope with the idea that maybe you're just another one. You want to be special because mediocrity terrifies you. But what really scares you is accepting that being special takes more than wanting it. It takes sacrifice, consistency, repetition, and none of that is pretty. No soundtrack, no applause, just invisible work day after day in silence with no one there to tell you you're doing fine. But that's not the path you want. You want the shortcut. You want recognition before you've earned it, reward before the grind, respect before you've proven anything. You think you're overlooked, misunderstood, unappreciated, when in reality, you just haven't done enough to be noticed. You post deep quotes. You share poetic texts. You dress like someone with a purpose. But deep down, you're just waiting for the world to discover your hidden greatness, as if it's someone else's job to dig deep and find something in you. You want to be discovered like a hidden gem, but you can't handle being shaped like raw material. You look in the mirror and feel like you deserve more, but the world doesn't run on what you deserve. It runs on what you deliver, on what you show up with. If all you bring is opinions and theatrics, then you're just another profile with an inflated ego and too much time. You're not special because you've suffered. Everyone suffers. You're not special because you overthink. Everyone overthinks. You're not special because you feel out of place. Welcome to the line. Feeling uncomfortable with the world doesn't make you rare. It just makes you aware, and awareness alone has no value. What matters is what you do with it. You want to be heard. You want followers. You want to be an example. But you can't stand being ignored on the way there. You want the top, but you refuse the stairs. You want to be remembered, but create nothing worth remembering. The truth, most people won't leave a trace. They'll live, consume, complain, die, and the world goes on like it always did. And you think that's cruel, but it's not. It's just math. Being special is the exception, and you didn't become one just because you decided to. You'll have to break yourself, rebuild, be shaped, stay quiet, move. All of that for years, maybe with nothing to show for it. And even then, it still might not be enough. Because the world doesn't have room for that many chosen ones. And maybe you're not one of them. The funny part, that's okay. Being ordinary isn't the problem. Pretending you're not, that's the problem. Building an entire life on an illusion of greatness while reality slips through your hands and you grab nothing. You don't need to be special, but at the very least, stop acting like you already are. The arrogance of those who believe they're different yet offer nothing but talk. That's what makes this generation a joke. You're not special, but you can still be useful. If you silence the vanity, if you get up earlier, if you show up with discipline, and accept that the world won't give you a stage until you build your own.